2024 is quickly fading into the low midwinter sun. But before it goes, it's worth a look back to see how our collections evolved this year, accept where our collections are, and plan new goals for the coming year in hopes we can get our collections to where we want them to be. Grab a cup of kindness as I reflect back on a great year in baseball cards. To prepare a bit for this video, I went back and rewatched my 2023 retrospective released 1 year ago. I talked mostly about completing my post-war sets, but at the end hinted at what I had hoped 2024 would bring. Happenstance and good fortune have brought pre-war cards my way, so I've officially begun Phase 2, reaching back into the play balls and into the Goudies, into the T205s, and hopefully the T206s, and the Cracker Jacks too. It was kind of incredible to hear myself say it, because the bulk of this year was spent doing pretty much that. My 2024 collecting year began with the building of a DIY baseball card shelf, which looking back was comically empty. 1 year later, and that shelf is now full, having added autographs of John Kruk, Cole Hamels, 2008 World Series manager Charlie Manuel, JT Realmuto with the base relic from Game 1 of the 2022 World Series, Alec Boehm, who came by way of a birthday present, Bryce Harper, who came by way of a birthday present for my son, and a handful of others picked up here and there. By the end of January, I had completed my 1933 Goudey team set and would go on to add the 1934 Goudey team set as well, including the pesky high number of Dolph Camilli, which eluded me for so long, which I finally picked up in August. After the Goudies, I focused on the T205s, a team set I was able to complete by the end of July. I worked diligently on the 39 through 41 play balls, completing all 3 of those sets in due course, and the stories of which will come in the future. I went to 7 card shows this year, which is just about 1 every 2 months. And I went to the National in July, my first time ever at the biggest sports card show on the planet. The Highs and Lows series remains my most popular, and my National recap story is the most viewed among them. As I had hinted in the 2023 retrospective, I was hopeful the T206s would come my way too. And they did. Card by card, here and there, they trickled in. Some at card shows, some on eBay, and some on Facebook collecting groups. The final card for my set, the inestimable Sherry McGee, just arrived to put an exclamation point at the end of a year-long sentence. The full story of collecting the T206s will come early next year, along with the play balls. My card show exploits have opened up other sets too. I was able to complete a Diamond Stars team set that I didn't even know I wanted until I saw some of the cards in person. They're really beautiful cards, and perhaps underappreciated by modern collectors. I came upon some 1922 Nielsen's chocolate cards too, which expanded to the W573 strip cards and E120 American caramel cards that all share the same designs and images.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
Also, as mentioned in the 23 retrospective, I thought maybe I'd get into the Cracker Jack cards. And indeed, I got a 1915 Cracker Jack card this year at a card show in Oklahoma of all places, where I also got a Buchner gold coin tobacco card from 1887, my first 19th century card. I would like more of both of these sets, but they're buku bucks and off the budget radar for now. I bought 2 small mystery collections this year, one which I was able to flip into a few free complete sets, including a 1985 Topps set which had been on my hit list, and another collection I found at a garage sale for $10 that ended up containing a complete 1989 Upper Deck set with the Griffey rookie and a 1972 Topps Nolan Ryan. That was fun. I got my eye out for more of these types of low-dollar, high-fun adventures in card collecting and would like to have more in the coming year. One of my favorite side projects this year was tracking the baseball cards of every roster move of the season. In my case, I followed the Phillies, of course, but I encourage you to do the same for your team of choice. Through a series of more than 50 YouTube shorts, I tracked each of the more than 50 roster moves of 2024 through the perspective of their baseball cards. My goal was to assemble a true team set, meaning a set of cards representing every player that took the field for the team in 2024. It was way harder than I thought. But after some careful sourcing, I was able to complete the project. It looks weird in the binder because so many of the cards are from other teams of players who probably will never get a Phillies card. But I enjoyed this challenge and plan to continue it in the future. I made a supercut of all of the roster moves for posterity. Check it out if you're interested in the concept. This was the year, after careful consideration, that I began a complete rookie run of Bryce Harper, who I'm fairly certain at this point will be in the Hall of Fame someday. What began with assembling his base cards has ended up with a budding SGC-10 collection. This is, of course, an ongoing project, and I won't be able to afford the red helmet short print anytime soon. But the SGC-10s means that I finally have graded cards in my collection, along with my beloved albums. 2023 was the year I started this channel, but 2024 was the year it matured. I tripled the subscriber count this year and have amassed nearly 130,000 views in 2024. A special bonus is that I was approved as a YouTube partner in May and have received a few modest revenue payments since, allowing me to buy some special cards, including the 34 Gaudy high number Dolph Camilli and the T206 John Titus, both of which are in my collection thanks to your support. And the recently acquired T206 Sherry McGee, fresh out of the mail, was the third and final card purchased this year with YouTube revenue. This is the 43rd video of 2024, which is kind of nuts to see it cumulatively. Given my job and family, it's unlikely I can beat that mark in 2025, but I want to at least maintain the pace. For 2025, there are still so many stories to tell. I want to tell you about acquiring the T206s, I want to explore some lesser-known sets like the Nielsen's Chocolates cards, I want to find more mystery collections, I want to visit more shows and tell you about their highs and lows, and of course, the 2025 cards aren't too far away, and I'll be sure to tell you what I think when they arrive. My primary target for 2025 is the 1922 team set, which I can assemble through 3 different issues who so conveniently have a checklist on the back of the E120 American Caramels. There are 2 1941 Gaudy cards that I'd like to find, and it's not all pre-war. I recently discovered a curious issue from Fritsch Cards in the 70s and the 80s, the 1 Year Wonder collection in 3 series that has cards of players who never got any other cards, like the Conlon first card issues, but more than a decade before them. And I just love that about collecting. Every time you think you have all of them, you turn a corner and there's a whole new series that you've never heard of and are excited to start collecting. So my collection had a good year. The channel had a good year, and I had a blast attending to both. I hope you finish strong, enjoy a peaceful holiday season, and begin 2025 with renewed hope and prosperity. We're saying goodbye to 2024 here on Baseball Card Stories, Legends,